Hello. Over the years, we have talked a lot about onions. We have discussed the merits of planting onions in spring, and we have discussed the merits of planting onions in autumn. We have discussed the merits of growing onions from seeds. We have discussed the merits of growing onions from sets. And we have discussed the merits of growing onions from heat-treated sets. We've discussed the merits of growing white onions, and we've discussed the merits of growing red onions. One recurring problem with all of this is that some onions bolt, throwing up a seed head in their first year of growth. So at the end of the growing year, if we do nothing, we are going to get onion seeds but no onion bulb. If we don't want that, we can pull the onion out there and then, or we can pinch out the seed head and let the onion grow on and see if we get any usable onion as was originally planned. Let's have a look at some onions. Over the years, I have onions that have gone to seed. You've had onions that have gone to seed. We've got to make a decision, haven't we? What are we going to do with those onions that have gone to seed? Well, my usual response to onions that have gone to seed is to pull them out, believing that I'm not going to get anything at the end of the year. I'm not going to get a bulb onion, and I don't want the onion seeds, and so I pull them out in the belief that that leaves more room in the bed for the other onions to develop. But this year I've been convinced by some subscribers and visitors alike that another approach might be just to pinch the seed head out, let the onion grow on, and we would get some usable onion at the end of the growing season, at the end of the year. Well, we're going to find out if that's true now, and we're going to find out if that's something that we might want to do in future, rather than just pull the onions out, pinch the seed head out, let them go to, let the onion grow on, if it will grow on, see if it'll produce a bulb onion, and see how much usable onion we can get from that bulbed onion. Okay, so these are a couple that bolted, that went to seed. This is the big stem that came up from them. There's another one. Okay. And yeah, we pinched the seed head out, we just pinched it out, let this continue growing. And I didn't realise that that would be the case, but in fact, I'm fairly sure that this grew well over a foot longer, even with this seed head pinched out. So the onion does keep growing, and to my surprise, it did start to bulb up. Now I know that as a fact because this piece of brush shank, I stuck it in the ground next to the onion at the time it threw up a seed head, and the onion was no thicker than this brush shank. So it's gone from that thickness to that thickness. So it has produced some sort of bulb onion, but until we take all the skins off, tidy it up, break it up, have a look at the amount of onion it's produced, we won't know whether it's worthwhile or not taking this approach. But let me show you this. That's what we would have got had this not gone to seed. Okay, that's a nice onion, isn't it? And just by way of comparison, let me get you these. These are a couple of store-bought onions. As you can see, they're still in their wrapping. So that's the size of onion you're getting when you're buying store-bought onions. That's the size of onion you can get when you grow them yourself from seed. Okay, these onions were grown from seed. I've no idea what that was grown from. I'm fairly confident it was grown from seed as well. So we grew from seed this year, and this is what we got. This is a couple of my onions that I grew this year, and this is a couple that bolted, that went to seed. So I'm going to move this off the table now. We're going to top and tail these onions, and these two particular onions, the ones that have gone to seed, we're going to split them. We're going to see how much onion we can get from them. Now I know that that is all onion. There's no waste there. Once I take this top off, there's no waste there. So we won't be splitting these onions, just these onions, but then we'll weigh the amount of onion we get from these as opposed to the amount of onion we get from these, just as a comparison. Okay, let's do that. Let's take these off the table, let's bring the chopping board on, and let's open these two onions up that have gone to seed. Okay, pop that one there. I'll do this one first. Have you had a good year growing your onions? I've done really well, really well. I've grown some winter onions, and I've grown some onions through spring and summer. Yeah, I had a good return this year, growing from seed. Right, let's split this guy open, shall we? In fact, no, what we'll do, we'll pop in there and top this one as well. Hello Tess, I've got the dogs with me today. Come round here. Come here. This is Tess. Can you see Tess? I hope you can. Onions, you don't like these. Come here Dotty. Come on. This is Dotty. Can you see Dotty? You don't like onions either, Dotty. Fern, come here. Come here Fern. Come here lass. Good girl. Come here. What's this? And this is Fern. Come here. I'm not too sure if we've got Fern in shot. Anyway, we've got the dogs with us for the next few days. Molly's keeping her head down. She doesn't like onions, so you might not see Molly. Oh. Now then, this guy's split into two. Actually, when you look at this, and somebody mentioned this to me, and to be honest, I must admit, I was a bit dubious of what I'd heard, a bit sceptical really of what I'd heard. But this is going to prove that what that person told me was absolutely correct. And I didn't know that till I started taking this skin off. How about that? That's where the seed stalk grew. It's not growing through the centre of the onion. It's growing up the side, look. How good is that? Now I suspect this is waste, but all this is onion. I didn't know that. I always expected this to grow straight through the middle of the onion. Now that might make it worthwhile, just letting these onions grow on. That looks like quite a sizable bulb onion now, doesn't it? And the stem is off to the side. Ha ha! How about that? That is the first time I've seen that. The first time I've seen that. Okay, let's, I'll just tidy this board up a bit because there's a bit of dirt getting on it. Okay, we'll split this guy first and see what we've got. Now, it looks as though the stem for this onion that had bolted has gone down the middle. So perhaps it can be one or the other. It looks as though we've got both here. I'm going to split this, we're going to have a look. That's if I don't cut myself in the process. Ready? Well, there it is, right down the middle. Look at that. And that onion is about hollowed out, isn't it? What looks like that, is it an avocado? Or when you take the stone out, there's a big hollow in the middle. I can't recall, there's something looks like that. But look at that. There's the seed stem right down the middle. Right in the middle. And that onion's hollow. So we're going to get absolutely zilch. Nothing from that onion. But hey, look at this guy. Now the problem is they both look the same growing in the bed, and I couldn't tell whether these two onions would look like this when they came out, which is what I expected, or would actually get one like that, which is what I didn't expect. Come on. What would we do? What would you do? Would you let them go to seed? Would you let them bolt in the hope that you would get some of these? Or would you pull them out in the assumption you'd probably get lots of these? What would you do? That's unbelievable, isn't it? That I've never seen before. I've seen this, I've never seen that. I've never seen this hollowing out before. There's usually onion, but there's no onion here, but there's lots of onion here. Well, blow me down. That's got me beat. That has got me beat. What about you? Have you ever seen that before? I've never seen that before. Never seen an onion throwing the seed head up from its side. It's always come through the middle. But hey, we learn something, don't we? And I guess only by pinching those two onions out and letting them grow on, that was the only way I would find this out. I've never seen it before. Have you? Have you ever seen this before? I've never seen this before. Am I labouring a point now? I think I am, and I'm doing that because I'm gobsmacked. I'm just gobsmacked. I never expected this. Before I stripped these two onions out, I never expected to be looking at this. I'm not lost for words. I'm not usually lost for words. But I honestly don't know what to say. I just don't. Tell you what we're going to do. That is going in the bin. Voila. This, we're going to take this off it and we're going to weigh that. That is a bulb onion. We've got some onion from this one, nothing from that one, something from this one. Tell you what we're going to do. We're going to put the scales on this table. We're going to see how much onion we've got. Is that a deal? Right, I'll put this to one side and we'll prepare the other two onions to be weighed. Okay, now these onions, as you can see, they're starting to dry out nicely, and we could probably plait them and make them into a string, couldn't we? Yeah, we could do that, but I'm not going to do that. And the reason I'm not going to do that is because last year I grew this same variety of onion, this Ailsa Craig, from seed. I simply topped and tailed them, and I stored them in that blue mushroom crate that you saw earlier. I had quite a few crates of these onions, and they actually stored in my garage for 6 months. We ate the last onion from the batch 6 months after going into storage. So I know that works, so that's what I'm going to do. So although this might look prettier, okay, I'm not going to do this. I'd have to hang them up somewhere, and I'm just not going to do this. I'm going to store them in those blue plastic crates. Okay, right, let's top and tail these two. And I would normally leave about 4 inches, 3 to 4 inches of stem on here. I think that helps in preventing disease getting into the neck of the onion while it's in store. I don't know if that's true, but that's what I do anyway. Okay. Right, so we've got these 2 onions to weigh. We've got a couple of shop bought onions we'll weigh, and then we'll pop this guy on. We'll take this off, obviously that's not onion, that's stem, and we'll see what we actually got out of this onion. Okay, right, let me just get the scales. Right, let's do these shop bought onions first. Okay, let's just see what we've got here. This out of the bag. So I'm calling these an average shop bought onion. Okay, you know you get 3 in a pack. We must have eaten one. These are the last of the onions from the shop, because I've now got my own onions to eat. So we won't be buying these again for at least another 6 months. Right, what we got? Let's have a look. Whoa, that's just under a pound, is it? Let me see, I have to pop round this side. Yeah, that's just under a pound, isn't it? Just under a pound of onions for 2 onions. And that's just under half a pound for 1 onion. Let's call it a pound, shall we? Shall we call that a pound? Because it's just easy to make. No, it isn't. No, we're not calling it a pound. It's 3/4 of a pound. That is 3/4 of a pound. 2 onions, shop bought onions. Okay. Let's pop these guys on that I grew this year. Well, that 1 onion weighs as much as those 2 onions. Hold on. Struggling to balance these guys. Let me see. That's better. What we got? Is that £2? That's £2. So 3/4 of a pound off these guys. £2 off these guys. They're twice as heavy, aren't they? Twice as big, twice as heavy. Grown at home, in a raised bed, grown from seed, garden soil. You can do this. Okay. Right, now this is the interesting one, isn't it? This one here. This one's going in the bin. There's nothing usable there. There just isn't. It's not worth it. That's going in the bin. But this guy, we'll just remove this, the remains of the stalk, the seed stem. I'm going to take that bit off there to be, so there's only usable onion left here. That looks better. How's that? This is the one that went to seed. Honest, I don't believe this. Well, seeing is believing. Seeing is believing. What we got? We've got half a pound of onion there. So from this onion that went to seed, we've got as much onion as we would have got from a shop bought onion. Is that right? Shop bought onion. Onion that bolted. How about that? I would never have believed that, but I do now. And so do you. You've seen it with your own eyes. Look, a bulb onion from an onion that went to seed, that had a stem, that grew a stalk. Blimey. So what we're going to do next year, when we sow our onions, if they start balding, what are you going to do? You're leaving them in the hope that you're going to get some of these, or are you taking them out in the expectation you're probably going to get some of these? What should I do? Actually, I wish that I'd have both been like this, or both been like this. And there would have been a decision, wouldn't there? You're never going to grow them if they're going to finish up like this. But if they grow like this, you're going to get an onion that's equivalent to a shop-bought onion. I think you're going to leave them in, aren't you? What do you think? Let me know. Let me know what you think. Should we leave them in the hope that we're going to get some of these? Or should we take them out because we think we're probably going to get lots of these? What do you think? Well, this video has posed more questions than it's answered, hasn't it? It has posed more questions than it's answered. Okay, so this is Homegrown Veg signing out.